Hello student, my name is Gagandeep and I am here to teach you social studies. As you know, up to class 5th, social studies is a combined book of history, civics and geography. But from 6th onward, you have separate books, history, civics in one book and geography in another book. And today I am going to teach you history, and our first chapter is Introduction to History. Our first question is, what is history? History is a record of the people and events of the past. In history, we record about our past peoples, how they live, how they survive, how they manage to live. It gives us a descriptive account of earlier civilization, about early peoples. Broadly, it deals with the social, religious, economic, political, and cultural aspect of the life of a man. It deals with the society, religion, economy, political, cultural aspects of a life of a man. It tells us about the evolution of a man, how man evolve. It gives us information about how life began on earth, how the life on earth started, how man left his uncivilized way and adopt modern ways of living, and so on. How in past people used to live in caves, and now in modern life they used to live in houses, and so on. And a very important question are coming. Herodotus is called the father of the history. Who is known as the father of the history is the very important question for future, and many competitive exams they going to ask who is the father of the history. And so the answer is Herodotus is called the father of the history. Importance of history. The study of history is very important for us because the present cannot be understood well without understanding the past. The study of history is very important, that without knowing our past we can't improve our future or present. History relates the past with the present. History act as a bridge between the past event and the present event. History gives us an idea about the settlement changes that took place in the life of a man over a period of time. Problem faced by men. Many problems are faced by early men. New inventions also occur in past, and discoveries made by him which help him to overcome these problems and live a good life, and enabled him to make rapid progress, and they are going to rapid progress in his life. History teaches us to act better in our present circumstances by learning from the past happening. The problem that they are occurring in past, and now in future they are resolving them. There have been many great men the past, like Gautam Buddha, Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, Guru Nanak, Mirabai, and many others who have preached many invaluable lessons of mankind. They taught us a very valuable lessons of life to humans. By following their teachings, we can become better human beings, and they give a great deal of value to the study of our history. Next thing is relation between history and geography. The next topic is, what is the relation between history and geography? How can we relate our history with our geography? History is a broader field. History is a large field encompassing all of the human experience. Geography concern is more specialized, focusing on human interaction with the physical environment. Geography tells us about how humans interact with our physical environment, our atmosphere. The history of any place is closely linked with the geography. History also linked with geography for that place. The land and the climate of a place has a great influence of the life of people. In early life, people used to live near rivers where they get proper water to drink, to clean, for everything. So the land and climate of a place has a great influence, importance of the life of people there, as well as the events that shape their future. Availability of natural resources like water. The water is coming there. Like I told you earlier, that river is very important. From river they get water, like water, timber, wood, and food at any place determine the nature and the growth of any civilization. Many early civilizations that emerged in different parts of the world were river valley civilization, where people live near the rivers. Hostile climate condition like drought, where they don't get proper rainfall, earthquakes, etc., led to the migration of people from there, where they didn't get proper rainfall, so the people didn't want to live there and migrate to another place, move to other place. Historical evidence suggests that great emperors like Magadha empires flourished due to rich mineral deposits. They have lived for long time because they get a rich mineral deposit as a long coastline which help in maritime trade, where with the help of rivers they used to trade over rivers. The relationship between the history and geography is especially close. We know that the relationship between the history and geography is very close because they represent two fundamental dimensions. They have two fundamental dimension of same phenomenon. They have the same phenomenon. Time frame in history. Historians have classified historical events according to the time period. They have divided history according to the time period in which they occurred. In which period the invention, the discoveries, and the other things they occurred. Time in history is broadly written in BC and AD. BC stands for the before Christ, while AD stands for Anno Domini, which means in the year of the Lord. Now student, turn page number 10. BC refers to the time in history to a year before the birth of the Christ. BC is referred to the time before the birth of the Christ. The year in BC are counted backward. That the year BC are counted backward. For example, 100 BC comes before 99 BC, and AD on the other hand refers to the time in the history after the birth of the Christ. The year in AD are counted forward. For example, 100 AD comes after 99. So understand student, at some place in historical records the word Sirsa is used instead of BC or AD. It is a Latin word which means around or approximately, not definitely. Sometimes historians use BCE and CE instead of BC and AD respectively. BCE refers to before the Common Era, while CE refers to Common Era. Now, another topic is prehistory and history. What is prehistory and history? On the basis of inventions of writing. When writing is invented, historians have divided history into two distinct parts. The historians divided history into two parts. The period of time before written record is known as prehistory. The period before history, the period before history is known as prehistory. Only archaeological sources can be traced for studying about this period. Only the archaeological sources are available to trace about this period, that what has happened in that period. Archaeologists dig deep beneath the ground, under the ground, to trace the materials remain of the past. Pots, jewelry, tools, coins, bones, etc. are the archaeological sources belonging to this period. After digging too deep, they found pots, jewelry, tools, coins, bones, etc. and that sources belongs to this period where written records are not found. History refers to the period which emerged after the invention of writing. The history is the period when the early people knows how to write. They invent the writing. The main historical source about this period have been recovered from written records. Inscription on rocks. People going to write on rocks at that period, on pillars, on copper plates, clay tablets, palm leaves, and the barks of the birch tree forms a major part of the early written sources. However, with the invention of paper, written records become much more details. So, after the history period, so the archaeologist gets the more detail about the history, how they live, how they survive. So, I think that's enough for today. Sources of history and other topics we're going to teach you further in our next class. Thank you, student.